Okay, so I don't know, I wasn't sure if I was going to cover this, but I mean, I do kind of want to hear, I do want to hear what Kuro has to say. K9Kuro talks about Smurf Blue Man's sudden graduation, because we know Aiki Waiki, but yeah, let's see what Kuro has to say. I'm not here to like, I'm not here to like speculate or things like that. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in like speculating and like creating drama and things like that. I think it's disrespectful to me personally, but let's see.
We've had uh, Mr. Blue Smurf Man, IKEA, Ikey Wikey,
IKEA.
is gone, right? Obviously, I'm pretty sad for. However,
Mm,
uh, I I can't say that I'm too sad as
mm,
everyone else because I've known of
mm,
this, right? I want to preface this by saying that everything I'm gonna say, I have talked to uh to the boy
yeah,
about,
to the
right? I
boys.
anything I said on Twitter, anything I say on the stream is stuff I got pre-approved by him.
Mm.
Okay, so
I respect that a lot. That he's like filtering it through. He's like, hey, is it okay if I say this? Is it okay to say that? And it's like I really respect that. I really respect him for like that. That's the thing that I really respect about Koro. He's very real. Like he's very like he's not fake. Like it feels very genuine because he is genuine when he talks about certain things and serious topics. Like he cares a lot and he's very real about it. And I have huge respects for him for that. And that I think it shows that Kuro is a really great friend. To yeah, not want to overstep in revealing things that maybe Ike wouldn't want to be revealed, which is totally fair. It is his privacy and I think it is good that Kuro is specifying that because sadly there are people that, want to, I think there are sadly a lot of people that want to like create narratives and who may clip things out of context and may try to twist Kuro's words. I think there are sadly a lot of people that will try and do those things. Hate those people, but um, I think when you are like a big creator, when you have a big audience, there are, you know, quote unquote haters that come with that as well, who try to sort of bring Koro down.
so I don't want to fucking hear shit like I can't believe saying this for him or shit like that.
Mm, mm,
I asked all this. We talk, okay?
yeah,
I
mm,
talked to him
mm,
twice in the past 2 weeks about this situation
mm, mm,
specifically,
mm,
okay? And I've talked to him over the course of since we met in Japan and then throughout those months up until now,
mm.
right? So I don't want to hear shit and people twist my shit and fucking blame me or say
It's
some.
it's crazy that there are people that like, obviously like we don't know them personally, not at all. And like it's crazy that I think like some like the public or the fans like make these assumptions and try and twist narratives. And obviously you don't fucking know the guy in a like you don't know the guy on a personal level. Like how can you make assumptions and say like, oh, Kuro's doing this. Kuro's doing that. Well, guess what? Kuro's his fucking friend and he knows him on a personal level. Like, I don't, the audacity of like people on the internet who feel like they know somebody more than like they know themselves or somebody who personally knows them, like that they know better than them. It's crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy.
Dumb shit, okay? Because if anyone knows anything, it's fucking me because I've been talking to him about it for ages,
Mm, mm.
right?
Yeah.
I only found out about how soon everything would be pushed
Mm,
very late, right?
mm,
Which
mm,
is why I stayed up because I wanted to tweet about it because I knew, like,
mm.
very like sudden. I was like, oh, okay, it's happening like now. I'll just stay up and then I'll tweet about it,
Yeah.
and then I can like give some sort of closure, right, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Um, which I did on my alt account for the closure. And then I did the tweet on my main, which got pretty bad
Oh,
backlash. Which
yes, I did see that.
honestly, I understand why, right? I got backlash on this tweet because one, people think I'm clout chasing.
doesn't even make any sense. That legit makes no fucking sense. Like, boys got the clout. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
I've talked to this man more than anyone. Okay, I've been giving you updates on his
Yeah, like, I
well-being.
mean, no, he's his friend, he knows him past, but, like, just hypothetically in this, like, delusion, like, whoever said that in their delulu mind, it doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, it legit makes no fucking sense because, like, Kuro already has the fucking, clout, quote unquote, you know? But yeah, no, that would be I don't know, like, what kind of I don't know, it's so fucked. It's so fucked up. Especially, like, this is like somebody's friend and you are essentially like trying to like say that Kuro is essentially trying to clout chase Ike, talking about his struggles with mental health. That's fucked. That's disgusting to say. That's horrible to say. Like, how fucking dare you say that? That's disgusting. Like, horrible to say. Absolutely fucking disgusting.
When he's not been here, okay, because I'm his friend and we talk,
Yeah.
and he knows that our communities are very tight knit. We know
Mm.
together, which is also why I discussed with him. We discussed together about,
Yeah. Mm.
what I should or shouldn't say, because obviously he doesn't want to be online right now. He
It's
doesn't want to be
completely
online at all. He
fair and
said it in his
valid.
message, right? He wants to stay away from online, which means he's not tweeting stuff and
Mm.
he's not
He's not in the
saying
online
stuff. It's
sphere.
just the announcement, and then that's it. So everyone's left in the dark, right? So that's why we were talking, and we're like, okay, we need to decide what you want to say or what you don't want to say, and I'll just like give a gist of it, but I don't want to say anything more than necessary because it's not for me to say.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
him to say, right?
Mm.
If he ever wanted to say more, that's up to him. I don't want to say. I
It's
don't want
it's really respectable how like considerate he's being and thoughtful he's being. I really respect that.
to air everyone's stuff out. You know what I mean? Especially when he's my friend, right? That picture of Freeran hanging, which I put because I feel like I want to hang
Mm.
myself.
Mm.
Which, by the way, there is other tweets of other people saying that, like, memes that they want to kill themselves, but apparently that's fine. But me is not fine. But okay. But
Yeah, I get that completely. I think it's just that thing where people are hypocrites and there's always this double standard, but I think there's this inherent thing, this inherent like issue where it's like when you are like a big creator or you're quote unquote somebody of some form of notoriety. Sorry, I can't fucking say say the word, or like you're like a public figure, right? You have a following. There are certain people that hold you to, to quote unquote a higher standard and at a like a higher standpoint. Even though at times it is hypocritical, but people sort of, tend to do that, tend to hold the words of somebody like Kuro at a higher standard than just like fan accounts. I'm not sure if I don't know in the sense of like Kuro saying like other people said that. I don't know if any other like creators tweeted something like that, but just in the context of like, there's a lot of people that may have tweeted something like that as well, like fan accounts, just regular accounts, but um like I said, there are like just these fucking people that will hold, people with followings, hold creators to a higher standard. And to a certain extent, you have a response I think you have an inherent responsibility in the sense of the words that you say have weight when you are a bigger creator, when you are, you have a large following, but that is not saying that what Kuro tweeted was inherently like bad, but in certain contexts, I think just looking at it at face value, you could you could definitely misinterpret it, but I just think, when I saw that, why the fuck would he ever like make a tweet, you know, in any way taking like a jab or being mean to his friend who fucking tweeted, like, you know, made that announcement about suffering with mental health issues. Why the actual fuck would he ever do that? That's like, why would he do that? Why would he ever do that? People just jump to conclusions on the internet so quickly. You know, on Twitter, they see something and they immediately reply. They immediately make assumptions. They don't look at the contexts. They don't, you know, people on fucking Twitter, you know, lack fucking cognitive thinking, okay? They lack hindsight. You see something and you just reply, you just tweet, you just try to cancel this person. And that is why a lot of the time you don't fucking take Twitter seriously. You do not take Twitter seriously because people jump to conclusions. People want to try to create drama. People want to cancel you. And I think there is just I do think there is just like an army of people that still kind of just want to go after Kuro. Will just twist his words no matter what he says. No matter what Kuro says, no matter what Kuro tweets, I think there'll be certain people that will try to twist his words or twist the narrative that he's putting forth to try and make him look like the villain. And I think that sadly, no matter what he does or what he inherently says, that's always going to happen to a certain extent.
But okay, I get it because that his message was talking about his mental health.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I didn't know that he was going to schedule his tweet or whatever at the same time as the announcement. I was only told about the announcement that was going to go out. Okay? I didn't
Right.
know that his personal
Makes
message was going to happen straight
sense.
away.
It's
I thought
fair.
it was going to be when he wakes up later, right? Because they were both scheduled for this time specifically, you know? And because of that, I didn't know that he was going to actually like put a lot of extra stuff into the message.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
You didn't know exactly
thought
you didn't know exactly what he was gonna say.
that he was just gonna say like his thank yous and then go, right? Because that's what I was like knowledge.
Yeah, it's
that's
just bad
all I knew.
timing, just unlucky, honestly.
And so
yeah, the timing
I
it's
tweeted
fair.
the fucking
Yeah.
hanging free ran image because I was like, I want to fucking die, right?
Mm.
And then people were like, whoa, that's really bad because he talked about his mental health, bruh, and you just put an image of killing yourself, bruh. Dude, it was like the most unfortunate series of events in the world, bro.
Yeah, that's
And
like that is really unfortunate. That is I mean I can get why some people may like think it's like maybe like insensitive.
Loki
But
flipped out. I mean, I haven't slept since then. I am literally running on 0 sleep because I mean, I got a bunch of backlash for it, even though, you know, I'm not even gonna get into that. But the timing sucked ass, made me look worse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess I'll go fuck myself.
Oh.
But whatever. You know what? It's honestly fine because people probably need something to hate. You know what I mean?
It's the internet. It is the internet, man. It's the internet.
Like, I get it. If you want me to be the villain, then let me be the villain. Whatever, right? It's easier to hate on someone than to, you know, deal with the grief without any negative emotions at all. Like, if you're feeling down, you're gonna lash out, right?
Yeah, that's completely
That's what I mean, but I
fair.
knew
That's
you'd never joke
true.
about your friend's health that way. Obviously, bro. Fucking obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, yeah, of course. Yeah, these are fucking psychopath. What the fuck?
Dude, and also the thing is, I don't want to say too much that isn't. I asked him, right? I asked him many, many times. I said, dude, like, you're depressed and shit. I want you to do the right thing for yourself, and I don't want you to fucking kill yourself or something. And he reassured me, which obviously no one else knows, right? But he reassured me many, many times. No, it's nothing like that. I don't want to.
Well, that's good that he made sure like he's okay. You know, he's safe. Like he made sure he's safe, and that's a good thing, of course.
Myself, you don't have to worry about that. And he said that to me. So in my head, with all this knowledge, right, from that, I already knew it wasn't that.
Yeah.
So when I post that, even if I like, you see what I'm saying? Like even with that, I had the assumption that, oh, it's it wouldn't be that anyway. Because I already asked him many times. I constantly asked him with every single call, and I was like, bro, you better fucking not do anything. He's like, no, it's nothing like that. And he reassured me many times. But obviously, no fans would know that because you haven't been in a conversation with him.
Mm.
I have, right?
Yeah,
So
right, of
obviously, I
course.
don't blame the fans for getting mad or anything like that because, I mean, you don't know, right? You wouldn't have
Yeah.
known. There's no way you wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame like fans necessarily getting mad. I just think that people just need to kind of, you know, remember just like, hindsight's 2020. Um try and, put the pieces together before you make assumptions. But I mean, I definitely understand in the sense of maybe I was a bit harsh in what I said before, but it wasn't like specifically on the situation, just in a general sense. But when you're obviously maybe emotional, maybe the fans are sad, they're emotional, and when you're sad and when you're emotional, that can have a tendency where you do sort of, lash out. Like Crow was saying, it's easier to, let those emotions outwards, and hate on something than it is to sort of recoil and you know what I mean? Like show like love or appreciation or you know, like not just let go of those feelings if you are already feeling sad or a lot of mixed emotions, you know?
I just don't want there to be this type of speculation.
Mm.
He's not joining V Shoujo.
Oh my
Okay?
god.
There's no V Shoujo shit, right? If he was, I wouldn't even mention this fact because no one has said it, right?
Why does everybody just assume, oh my god, yo, there's a few people that left the company to join company, so that means that anybody that leaves company joins company. It's like that is not how that works. That I do not think that is how that works. Um, no, like no, that's
He's
no.
not joining V Shoujo. But I know some fucking person is gonna be like, wait a second.
Right.
The only person he told about this was Kuro.
Hmm.
And he's in V Shoujo. And he left. And Kuro left the same company. And now he's in V Shoujo. And
Hmm.
two other people left the company. And they're also
Hmm.
in V Shoujo.
Hmm.
It's not
Whoa,
that,
whoa,
okay?
whoa,
Like, I know it was
whoa,
very, very
whoa,
abrupt,
whoa.
right? For a lot of people. Obviously. Because everything's gone in one go. I was also in a situation where I wanted to delete VODs. But then it got stopped because I made like a bet with my chat, right? With the
Oh
music.
yeah, I forgot about that. He did, yeah, he did say that. I forgot about that. He did say he wanted to take the VODs down, but then it was his original song if it got like a certain amount of what was it? If it charted or if it got a certain amount of views. I think it was like if it got like the charts or if it hit like a view threshold, then he wouldn't get rid of his VODs.
Video. Everyone knows that, right? But I also felt similar. And a lot of things
Mm,
that he feels that I've talked about, I felt very similar, which I think
mm.
is a big reason why he even confided in me a lot
Yeah,
during this
yeah, that
time.
makes
His
sense.
situation is different because he's not the same as me.
Yeah, he's a
He's a
different
different
person.
person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into his reasons, okay, for leaving, because that's up to him. And
Mm-hmm.
I already
Mm-hmm.
discussed this with him. I'm not going to do any of that, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Just know that he didn't do this just randomly. This has been a long time coming.
I'm going to I don't even think it's a thing of like, oh, this has been like yeah, I think there are these people that want to like to twist it and be like, oh, Niji Sanji ruined him. It's like, no, I really do think that it sounds like it was like a long time coming, and in that sense, I think just sounds like it is something that was happening before he joined Niji, like just being online, just being in the online sphere, just having yourself out there, it weighs on you. It can, over time, that may have just been really weighing on him.
Okay, he's been thinking about this for a long time, and not just in the company, but before the
Mm,
company.
mm, mm, mm.
Okay, it's not just the company. It's before the company. This is a actual like himself thing. Okay, and it's been that way for a long time. So it has been a long time coming, and obviously, like I said, I'm not saying the reason, so don't ask
Yeah.
because I'm not saying it's
No.
not for me to say, and I've
No,
already.
no.
And I have to keep confirming this because I know someone
That's personal.
will
Personal.
clip only like certain parts and then leave out the part where I'm saying I got told that I can say stuff, right? So I'm just trying to say it in between, so then at least it will get heard in one of the clips, right? I was on the side of, dude, if you think this is right, and you really like truly think this,
Mm.
then you can always like maybe down the line you could come back later. But then
Yeah.
he shut it down and he was like, I don't even want to think about the later. I just wanna like
Like
disappear for a
he
while.
just needs to get out of it now. That's completely fair. Like he just needs like, okay, I don't even want to think about the future. I don't want to get overwhelmed. I think about like what ifs or like what it's gonna happen like later on. It's just like I just need to go. And that is valid as fuck.
Well, or for how long, however long he needs, and just
Yeah. But
live,
you need that mental reset. You need to you need to help yourself, you know.
right? That's all. So, and honestly, can you blame him for
No,
that? No,
not at all.
right?
No, no
I feel
way.
like if you've known the stuff I knew about him, then
Mm.
you would feel even more inclined to agree with him that he definitely needs to just chill. Okay? And I know you could say, well, then why not just go on like a hiatus, you know?
If you're a web designer, here are 4 Wix Studio features you gotta know. So first on the list, Section Grid. I'm talking about a revolutionary tool that lets you create your own.
That's a
Mm.
whole nother can of worms.
Yeah,
Stuff that I'm not even like
totally.
gonna touch on at
Totally,
all. You
totally.
know? Because again, that's his shit to say, not me. Right? Whatever he wants to say about how or the reasonings for why. I do know the reasons why, but it's not for me to say. In any case, he is okay.
Look, I think that there's a major thing of like, oh, why don't you just take a break? Okay, there is the idea of, okay, there is feeling depressed, and then there is depression. Those are two separate things. Those are two separate entities. Like feeling burnt out and having depression are majorly different things. And, you having depression and, being in a depressive state, taking a break or a hiatus does not take that away, because no matter what, that form of like, it is sad. It is really sad, but depression is something that stays with you and it eats at you. It's, it lingers in the back of your mind. It sticks with you. It is not something that a break will just fix. That is not how that works. There's a difference between if you feel burnt out, you just need that mental reset for a little bit, but no, because, there may be certain instances of being in that space leads to the depression. And if that is the case, and being in this space, being in the position that you are, contributes to the depression, taking a break does not solve that issue. Taking a break, a hiatus, does not make those things disappear. You need some serious help, as in, you need to help yourself, and that is taking yourself out of that situation. It is not just taking a break for 2 weeks or a month and just, oh my god, things are okay now. That's not how that works. That is not what, struggling with mental health is. That is not what being in a sadly struggling with depression is. And I'm not trying to like say like, oh, like has depression or is depressed or these sort of things. I'm just saying more in a general sense of, like people that, you know, a lot of people struggle with mental health, but just the instance of there's an inherent difference between, you know, when somebody is depressed or is feeling depressed, because we all, you know, yes, we all feel up, we all have our ups and downs, you know, all of us feel sad time to time, but like I am saying, dealing with like mental health issues, dealing with depression is different. It is different. Um, and that is not taking away from anybody if you are feeling down at a certain point or you are feeling depressed. But I am just saying that depression and having depression is different, because depression does not go away just overnight. It doesn't just go away after a break. That's not how that works. That is not how mental health works. You need to get some serious help, or you need to just help yourself. And at certain times, it may be you need to take yourself out of that situation to protect yourself.
Physically, okay? Mentally, not so much.
Mm.
But, you know, people are there for him. You know, I'm gonna be checking in on him, like, constantly throughout the next week, like, just messaging, checking in. So, someone is definitely going to be checking in, because I know I am going to be, right? Even if he doesn't respond,
Totally.
even if he's not online, I'm still gonna message. Because, you know, when he does check, eventually, if he does, then there we are then, right? He gets to see a lot of positivity, you know? So just know there is someone that is reaching out to him constantly during this time anyway, all right? He's not alone. I don't want people to just blame it on something or
Yeah,
someone.
right,
Right?
yeah.
I don't think that it needs to be blamed on something or
No,
someone.
I don't think it needs to be blamed
Not
on
until
anything,
you
yeah.
hear his own side, if he ever decides to say something about it, right?
I mean, I just kind of feel like in the sense of also blaming something, blaming somebody, it doesn't really help. Like, it doesn't solve anything, right? Like, it really doesn't solve the issue or make things any better. It kind of just creates more drama, more pain than there needs to be. If you care about Ike, if you know, you are a fan of him, you should just support him. Or it is a major thing of just being like, hey, you know, in this space, we mental health is important. And that is something we could talk about. That's something you should spread is, you know, hey, mental health is important, especially men's mental health as well. That is a very important thing that, you know, we should normalize the care of and realize that, you know, being a public figure, being in the on being, you know, being having so many eyes on you, it can have a lot of effects on you. There's a lot of pressure that goes with it, you know? And I'm not saying that's the reason why Ike yada yada yada. No, I'm just saying in a general sense.
Because otherwise, like, I feel like speculation causes frustration in this community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially at times like this. And, you know, even
Doesn't
though there's
doesn't
always
solve
more to the
anything.
story, the bottom line of this story is that he wanted to stop doing shit, and so he did. Even
Yeah.
though there was a lot of drastic measures like deleting the VODs instantly, everything's gone instantly, but it's what he wanted. And
It's his choice. Yeah, it's what he wanted, and that's completely fair and
if
valid.
that, to me, is what he needs to still, you know, live on Earth or
Yes.
whatever. Like,
Yes.
I know
Like,
I said he didn't
be
say anything like that,
okay.
but in my mind, even though he said that, I still feel a little, ooh, I'm scared. But, you know, just to live comfortably and live happily and all that. If that's
Yeah, no, I get, I get it. You know, he cares about his friend, which is completely fair and valid.
what he needs to do, then fucking, I'd rather him be around, be happy, and just like vanish like that from the internet than not, you know, than vanish IRL completely
Oh
like
my
as a
god,
human, or
Jesus.
vanish, or continue to go and then like his actual personality vanishes because
Mm,
he's so, you know,
yeah,
he's so getting like messed up,
yeah,
right?
right, yeah.
Like, I'd rather not see him as the shell of what he once was, such as myself. I'd rather not see that, you know? So that's why, you know, I even though it's sad, and I think everyone should grieve about it. For
Yeah.
me personally, I don't sound like I'm sad, right? Because obviously I've known a lot more stuff, and I also agree with him. I agree with all of the points he told me. I agree with like his decision making for towards
Mm,
this and the amount of
yeah.
time he took. I even told him to think about it. You know, I didn't say like, well, yeah, just fucking follow your heart. I was like, no, you should think over the months. It's
Mm,
been months. It's been many, and that's still his decision, right?
yeah,
So
that's,
why didn't anyone
yeah.
else know? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just. I mean, I had the most similar past experiences as him, right? But he has like obviously his path diverged in another direction than mine, but it kind of
I don't know. I don't like when people's like, why didn't he, you know, tell the people? Why did you only know? And it's like, that is only for that individual to, you know, that's only that individual's business. But I don't think it's ever like, oh, you know, there might be people that speculate and be like, you know, oh, why did Luxium not know? Why did he not tell his co-workers or whatever? How did Corony know? The thing is, right, it's really hard, and this is just more of a general aspect. Okay, this is not me like specifically saying Ike, but it is extremely hard to be vulnerable, to confine in somebody, and to say such personable stuff to someone. And um you know, maybe it could be finding somebody who may relate to you on a personable level, and so because of that you share somewhat of the same experiences, that it makes it easier for you to confine in that person. Or there are aspects as well of feeling like, oh well, you know, I don't want to bother other people. I don't want to feel like I'm a burden on them, and I'm a burden on what they're doing. I don't want to feel guilty that, you know, they may be concerned about me, or they may feel bad about, you know, how I'm feeling. And those are completely human, you know, and valid things to feel. And I think that that's how a lot of people would feel when they're going through something, because sadly the reality is, in real life, especially in men, is that they don't share these things. You don't share what you're going through, and people don't even share these things with their best friends, with some of the people they're most closest to, because some aspect of it is because they're not sharing those things with them because they care about them, because they don't want them to feel bad, they don't want them to suffer because of what they're going through, you know. And I think there may be possibly like aspects of, even maybe, not trying to speculate, but in certain aspects of, oh, maybe, you know, when you are in a certain space, or you're in a position which could, you know, at the time possibly bring you some mental anguish, people who are close to that said thing or are in that environment, talking to those people may remind you of some of those dark things mentally. And because of that, it might be really hard to confine in those people. And so speaking to a third party about a situation may be the easier route to go, because them not being like directly involved but maybe like adjacently involved brings you a sense of more comfort possibly, or there's not this like emotional attachment as much, if that makes sense. Like I said, I'm not trying to speculate, but I am just saying that this is how I would, kind of, um, process things in more of like a general sense. I do not think that, in these situations, like, oh, he only talked to this person, he talked to others. That means like, oh, like, people may speculate and be fucking stupid, but like, oh, wow, I only told Kuro, that must mean they're like really close, and he didn't talk to the rest of Luxian about it. So that means Ike may have hated Luxian. Maybe Ike like had an issue with the rest of them. It's like, that's fucking bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Okay, if someone does say that, shut the fuck up. That is not. I do not like speculating. Does not help. But think about it in like, this is a real person. Ike is a real human being. Okay, and when you think about like real fucking humans and real fucking human beings, this is a real life situation that people fucking go through, because mental health is important. VTubers are real fucking people, and it is how it is. When people are suffering, people are going through something, it is really, really hard for you to to talk to somebody, to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I'm not okay. And that is one of the hardest things to do. It really fucking is. And it's such a mental battle to feel like, oh, am I going to be a burden on this person? I don't want, to put my own, weight onto them as well. And that is, that may be why.
Had somewhat similar stuff, right? So
Yeah, like relatability.
Maybe he thought, hey, this might be the best person to reach out to.
Like to
Will he
process
come back ever?
things. Yeah.
So I had discussions with him about it. I said, you should take 6 months to just not even fucking look at anything, right? Just live your life the way that you're saying you want to live it, right? For the 6 months. After that, if you still feel the same way, then just continue.
Yeah.
Right? If you feel like you want to come
like
back,
it's like, don't put pressure on him,
at any point, everyone will be here. Everyone will be here with open arms. Like, you're not going to be forgotten, right? That's what I told him. And he was very insistent on that, like, he wants to do this. But I did say, like, dude, just focus on these 6 months, right? Like, just really
take
focus
care
on them.
take care of yourself. Yeah.
See if that's what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just, 6 months is a long time, but it's not like you'll be forgotten in 6 months.
It's not like it is a long time in internet, like, in internet context. It is a long time, but it's not like, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Um, people definitely will still remember him. I mean, in the sense of, people still remember Mister. People still remember who Mister is. People still remember Yugo. These people that have been gone for years. So I guess definitely not gonna be just forgotten. I definitely can understand why he may feel that way, or why it's like, oh, like, do people actually really care about me? Those sort of thoughts and feelings are completely valid.
You know what I mean? Especially with the community that he built for 2 years, right? It's just not gonna happen. It's just not. We still have connections to others or you. I mean, I'm still gonna message him. He said he wants to take a lot of time away from all of, like, internet stuff, right? Including Discord. So whenever he decides to look on Discord one day, that's when I'll just call him again. But I'm still gonna message him.
Cute. Sweet.
Just for that sake. I highly doubt that I'm gonna get any message back for, like, the next week or two,
Mm.
because he's definitely very serious about it. He's very serious that he wants this. I can't stress that enough. Like, he wants to just let
Well, that's great that he's he's taking action and doing it.
stuff settle and move his mental forwards, right? So, will he continue making music, like, even privately? He said, I don't know about that, but he did say that he hasn't touched guitar in a long time, and he really
Aw.
wants to, like, pick it up again.
Oh, I hope he does. That sounds nice.
So maybe, I don't know. Please tell me.
I think there's also like this aspect of like maybe it is that thing of almost like he's been making music and releasing music, and it's almost like maybe, oh, like you're making music for others, and it might be obviously completely up to him, but it may be this like aspect of like almost, oh, making something for yourself, and that's an important thing. It is.
Tell me you gave him a big hug when you last met. Oh, yeah. Dude, when we were saying our goodbyes
Oh, that's cute.
on the
Aw.
second time, we were, like, outside the train station, and we had, like, at least 5-second hug.
Aw, that's so cute.
I guess that
Aw.
doesn't sound like it's that long. I feel like 5 seconds is quite a long hug. It
Yeah,
was
like
a
it
big
feels
hug.
long. I think it is.
The thing is, I can process stuff differently to everyone because I am the knower of things.
The knower of things.
Like, people tell me stuff, right?
He
So I've known of
knows.
stuff for a while. You know what I'm saying? If there's a chance you plan on meeting again in the future IRL. Oh yeah, of course. Dude, of course. If
Aw.
anything, we can meet IRL easier now.
Mm.
No graduation stream. Yeah, he didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
which is completely fair. I mean, if you wanted to completely step away, I don't think a graduation stream would have helped. I think a graduation stream probably would have, put more like mental strain.
again, it sucks because obviously as a fan, that's like
Yeah,
you can't even say
you don't
goodbye.
get you don't get to
properly,
say
right?
goodbye. Yeah.
But if I just want you to, or anyone that hears this, to just keep in mind that there is thought behind why he's done these things. You know what I mean? It's not like he didn't do it to be selfish.
Yeah.
There is
yeah.
stuff that I'm not saying that maybe he'll say one day, maybe he won't, that are like core to the reasonings why he does these things. Okay?
Yeah,
So
right.
it's not just it's not anything
Yeah, like not like, oh, he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care about his fans. Like that, no.
to do with the corpo at all. It's not that. Like that's not. I mean, obviously that's part of it, but like that's not the. There's more to him than just, oh, let's blame it on the corpo. You think he was happy in the company? Yes and no. I mean, obviously if he's leaving, then there's reasons, right?
I mean, I feel like with like a lot of places, there's like there's positives and there's negatives.
Like, everyone has their ups and downs in any job you're in, right?
Yeah.
There's always the ups and the downs. I had a lot of downs that I've never said publicly, right? Because I don't think that people need to know. But I've also had a lot of ups. It wasn't all bad. I know
Yeah.
you can't really support him, like, on anywhere because he's not posting anything anywhere.
Right.
right now. Or
Like directly. Yeah.
for the foreseeable future. But I think even just rooting him on in spirit, he will see it. You know why he'll see it? Because I will tell him, okay? I will tell him, I'll show him that you guys are still
That's so
supporting.
cute. That's so
when he doesn't wanna
sweet.
be,
That's so
like, online or
sweet.
whatever. Obviously, I'll ask him first who wants to see, because I don't want to, like, random shove shit
Yeah,
on his face,
right.
but
Yeah.
I will make sure to tell him, because he deserves to know, dude. He deserves to know that people actually do care a lot. A hell of a lot. And he's still loved, even with this, even with all the decisions he took, like, even if some of them were pretty drastic, right? Like the VOD's immediately gone, all that stuff. Even if some of those were super drastic, people still do love him, That's all. One last question. Does it bother him that we know about his YouTube channel? Oh. No. If anything,
Go and support it.
that
Yeah,
one.
go support it.
And
Yeah.
fucking check out his newest shit, bro. He uploaded something like 2 months ago. Fucking check that shit. Shit goes hard as fuck. But just don't expect anything, right?
Like
Just don't expect anything.
don't add pressure. Like don't pressure him. Yeah.
Because even though everyone would want him to come back and all that, right? I think don't shove it down his throat, you know? Let him at least savor some of the initial yo, I'm finally taking my own steps, doing what I want, right? Like let him do that, right? Okay, because I was usually mad nervous about checking out the past layers, and I was especially so for him. Dude, that's okay, man. Dude, it's not like the VTuber police are watching your internet access, and you type in like an X account, and then they're like, dun 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 dun, hey, put your hands up now! Were you looking at X VTuber fucking YouTube channels? Oh, that's 20 years in jail, buddy.
Time to die.
I finally subbed and followed my main after holding back for years.
Sonny Briscoe comes in, kills you.
Bro, why are you guys holding back? What is this like guilt? You guys have like religious guilt, but for VTubers.
I mean, it's
like
it's nice that they're respectful, you know.
VTuber religious guilt, bro. What? Just fucking follow people, dude. It's not that deep. Relax. Follow and sub to the people you care about.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't need this guilt on you.
Yeah, that honestly, like I have a lot of respect for Koro. I mean, he like how much care that he has for Ike, you know, is really sweet. It is really sweet. But so I kind of yapped for a really long time. But yeah, thank you guys for I don't know listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.